I got a few quests in here that I can try to work on, perhaps before I do the... I guess it's blood money is the one. The main one is to do the wine exchange with somebody. Antonio, I believe was his name. Interestingly, it is not mentioned in my log, but there's a couple things I'm supposed to be keeping in mind for that might not have been mentioned in the log, so I hope I remember all of that. So among the villains, I guess, is like the official umbrella quest. And then blood money is the sub quest to do stuff for Cortez before he'll give me info about the big man I was looking for. A few mugs to beat is trying to lower my entry fee into a tournament that won't happen yet. And then escape is Homer. So we're trying to help Homer escape, and I think Homer is the guy from Gothic 1 who's the architect responsible for, at the very least, building the dam to create the lake and control the flow of water down into the rice fields and all that. I don't know if he had anything to do with building the huts and the cabins, those concrete-looking stone structures in the Cave of the New Camp, but I think this is that same guy. So we gotta try to help him get out of slavery to some guy. Dinkle. Kind of a awkward name for a slaver. But the premise for helping Homer escape is getting him out of the arena area on the premise of repairing something and then having him make the getaway. This guy is just always urinating in this corner. You. So my official log says Homer has offered me an escape plan. He wants me to take him somewhere to another part of the haven under the guise of repairing one of the buildings. First, I'll have to find some uncommon place in the haven. Repairing the outer palisade sounds like a reasonable task. Just how do you get away from this place? I need to take a closer look around the area. So... what, am I trying to not just have him leave out the main gate? I mean... teleporter? What if I give him the teleport rune? I just happen to have a teleportation rune on me that leads straight to town. I can go back to Dinkle. I need to be confident and convincing if he's going to believe my story. Oh, there's another entry above that. It's all starting to add up to a reasonable escape plan. I'll bring Homer here under the guise of fixing the palisade, and then he'll escape using teleportation. I'll need some kind of rune to get him to town, of course. Okay. Hope I'll be able to get my rune back. The novice is now out on the pier. Okay. Very interesting. Is this Dinkle? There he is.
Chwila.
Hey, you.
Muszę na chwilę pożyczyć Homera.
A to niby czemu?
Cortez kazał mu zająć się naprawą palisady przy jego chacie.
Come to think
No
of it.
tak. Słyszałem, że od czasu do czasu wlatują tam te śmierdzące trutnie. Skąd mam być pewien, że to naprawdę on cię tu przysłał? Macie chociaż jakieś narzędzia do pracy?
was gonna say, come to think of it, I probably should have seen if I could talk to Cortez and be like, hey, how about these palisades? They look like they could be repaired.
Mam tu narzędzia dla Homera, ale jeśli chcesz, to możesz sam zapytać Corteza.
Dobra, bierz go. Chociaż, jak tak sobie teraz myślę, to chyba przejdę się tam z wami. Dla własnego spokoju.
Let's go, Bluff.
Ruszajmy.
Spokojnie. Tak tylko cię sprawdzałem. Homer, mają dla ciebie robotę przy palisadzie. Tylko niech cię tam nic nie zeżre, masz jeszcze chatę do wysprzątania.
Oh, I thought for a second he was gonna attack me. Alright, so here's the plan. We're gonna go repair the palisade. Then you're gonna jump over the edge. Here's a teleport rune and you'll escape, okay? You got that? Oh, wait, Dinkle overheard everything. No, but seriously though, are you alright?
Może i nie wszystko, ale odkąd ktoś się zainteresował...
That's the same line, so, okay. Should be a straightforward escape plan. I mean... Can I just walk out the front gate and go to the whatchamacallit, or do we need to climb over the thing? Is anyone going to suspiciously stop us if I walk around to the outer edge? It really seems like Thiago is going to be like, hey, you. Where are you going? And then I gotta be like, hey, we're repairing the thing. When in reality, like, couldn't we just climb over the thing like I did just a minute ago? Is Homer capable of climbing, or will he try to run around the long way? This is where I climbed up over here. Wasn't this guy is always peeing in this corner? My goodness. Where did I climb over? It must have been behind the hut. So for instance, if I were to just climb over here. Oh. Where is it? There we go. So Homer, you should follow me. I don't even know where he is. He's lost. Oh. Thought I saw him for a split second. Trying to get through there, underneath the thing. Well. YOLO. Find your way over here, Homer. See, right now, Thiago, he don't care, because I don't have Homer with me. Is that Homer? Did he get lost?
Człowieku, nie będę przepływał połowy wyspy tylko po to, by zostać zjedzonym przez jakieś monstrum w wodzie. Chodźmy pod tę palisadę.
Under the palisade. Why not over it? So I'm gonna have to sweet talk Thiago, I think.
A wy dokąd? Czy to nie jest ten niewolnik Dinkera?
Cortez zlecił załatanie palisady przy jego domu.
Skoro sam Cortez sobie tego życzy, tylko nie próbujcie żadnych sztuczek.
Oh, there will be tricks happening. You just hopefully won't know about them.
Skoro jesteśmy na miejscu, to możemy chwilę poudawać, że nad czymś pracujemy. Tylko uważaj, żebyś nie uderzył się w palce.
I was trying to mute my mic. Normally Alt-M is my function. But it would seem that when I do it out of certain menus, I will open the map screen, so maybe I need to remap that binding at some point. Anyway, what was my quest entry? He said, like, we gotta pretend like we're working. They put up little slats here.
Dobra, to co to za plan? Jak zamierzasz mnie stąd wyciągnąć?
Am I going to be able to get this back? I think I would prefer to keep the Shrine of Innos, because that one gets me like a little bit closer to my faction headquarters.
Mam tutaj runę teleportacyjną do miasta. W ruinach obok znajduje się krąg, z którego możesz skorzystać.
Runy teleportacyjne! Ja się nie znam na magii!
Spokojnie, już ich używałem. Wszystko będzie w porządku.
Wygląda na to, że nie mam większego wyboru. Dobra, dawaj ten kamień i widzimy się w mieście.
Escape. Homer used the teleportation stone. If everything went according to plan, we'll probably run into each other in town in a while. Now I have to come up for some more lies for Thiago and Dinkle. So he got killed by a swamp drone. What if I warp out? Scoundrel's Haven is what this one is called. I may not be able to find Homer until I finish the
Koniec, Marvin?
quest. Oh, hello.
Zgadza się.
That's me.
Pytał ciebie jakiś więzień. Mówił, że natychmiast musi się z tobą zobaczyć. Jak mu tam było? A, Homer.
Oh. Wow, that was quick. I didn't expect that. I thought I was gonna have to look around for him. But literally, the first person and the first thing I ran into, I was just gonna cut through here to head towards the harbor. Well, now I gotta break him out of prison, huh? Or is he gonna get shipped to, Chronicles now? Hey, you.
Jak?
No niestety.
Oh, I guess because he's not a citizen, right? Or he didn't have permission to be in the city, so we didn't think that through. Guido. Can we talk about Homer? It's Alder. Osip?
Co słychać?
Gdybym mógł cofnąć czas, dołączyłbym do najemników. Wyglądają na porządnych gości.
They're alright. I don't remember who that guy is. He might have already been here before I started messing around in town.
Ci dranie nie dali mi nawet chwili na wyjaśnienia. Zanim się obejrzałem, byłem już za kratami.
Wyjaśnimy Roderichowi, że to jedno wielkie nieporozumienie.
Wiesz co? Daj mi już lepiej spokój. Nie zrozum mnie źle, jestem bardzo wdzięczny za twoją pomoc. Sam plan też był niczego sobie. Ale ty po prostu przynosisz pecha. Mówił ci to już ktoś? Wolę nie ryzykować, że twoja następna interwencja zakończy się moją śmiercią. Lub czymś jeszcze gorszym. Posiedzę tu trochę i pewnie mnie wypuszczą. Przecież nic takiego nie zrobiłem. Najważniejsze, że nikt mnie już nie wykorzystuje do niewolniczej pracy.
Yeah, about that. I think you might want to get used to mining ore in prison. Homer was thrown into prison as soon as he showed up in town. In his eyes, anyways, this is a significant improvement after being a slave in the Haven for a long time. He has asked me not to try to help him again. In his opinion, I am bringing bad luck. If I can still get the rune back from one of the guards, at least I'll be able to get out of this whole thing. I mean, that's what I really want, is my rune back.
Wszystko w porządku?
Żartujesz sobie? Póki stąd nie wyjdę, póty nie będzie w porządku.
So, yeah. Okay. Ooh, Guido?
Streszczaj się.
Who would have my rune? You wouldn't have it, would
Hey.
you? Don't look like you would. What about Logar, or Logan, or whatever his name was?
To twój kumpel? Skonfiskowaliśmy przy nim kilka ciekawych rzeczy. Może chciałbyś je odzyskać?
Alright.
Dawaj te rzeczy.
I got a pirate ring, 3 gold nugs, I got a quest entry on teleport runes, so I assume I got my rune back. But it's not an actual physical item, so I don't get a item entry, right?
Było dokładnie tak, jak
What is
mówisz.
pirate ring?
Kto tu opowiada takie rzeczy?
Nie rozumiem
It's a
w ogóle.
dexterity and arrow protection. Well,
Tak mi się właśnie wydawało.
Nadine, I don't recognize you. Who are you? Why are you sitting dejectedly in the streets
A to cię
in front of the dungeons?
Dlaczego tak tutaj przesiadujesz?
Wreszcie ktoś chce mnie wysłuchać. Wiele dni temu zaginęła moja córka. Dalej utrzymuje porządek w jej kąciku w domu. Pewnego dnia Lena po prostu wyszła za miasto i ślad po niej zaginął. Pamiętam, że była w swojej ulubionej sukience. Pięknie w niej wyglądała. Straż podobno przetrząsnęła całe miasto. Ale wszystko na nic. Żadnych śladów. Zatrudniłam nawet tropiciela. Ale ten zniknął jak kamień w wodę z wszystkimi moimi oszczędnościami. Nie umiem sobie z tym poradzić. Jedyne o czym myślę to gdzie może się teraz spodziewać.
Mnie też porwano kogoś bliskiego. Mógłbym rozejrzeć się przy okazji za twoją córką.
W takim razie cieszę się, że na ciebie trafiłam. Wszyscy powtarzają mi, bym nie miała już nadziei. Ale matka nigdy nie pogodzi się ze stratą swojego dziecka.
Wrócę, gdy tylko coś ustalę. Mam nadzieję, że nic jej nie jest.
Abducted. Nadine searches unsuccessfully for her daughter, Lena. She claims she may have been abducted but has had no leads or clues. I guess I'll have to rely on luck in this one. Well, that's very reassuring. But in the Scoundrel's Haven, I saw some girl in a cage. Who knows if it wasn't Lena? She did have a nice dress on. I remember that. Gregor wouldn't tell me anything else at the time. Maybe Oscar will know something. So
doprawdy.
I would have to luck into finding the Lena with no clear clue. But as it would happen, I did happen to go there and find her. Oh, that's right. I remember that being suspiciously uninteractable. Non-interactive. So now I should be able to warp to the Adenos Shrine, right? Adenos Shrine in the city, but I don't want to go there. I want to go to Scoundrel's Haven. Really, I should resolve this suspicious absence of Homer probably before I start doing too much other stuff. And you don't care?
Nie,
You don't care. So Dinkle is, I guess, the only guy I gotta talk to. I can try talking to Cortez. I don't know what he would have to say about anything. Hey, you. He got nothing. Hey, Dinkle.
Gdzie mój niewolnik?
He was eaten by swamp sharks.
Nie wszystko poszło zgodnie z planem. Homera zeżarły węże błotne.
Chyba sobie żartujesz. Ja mam w to uwierzyć?
Cortez did not say anything to me.
Cortez powiedział, że osobiście wypłaci ci rekompensatę.
Naprawdę tak powiedział? Cholera. Szkoda niewolnika. Ale Cortez potrafi być naprawdę hojny. Może jednak nie wyjdę na tym tak źle.
What? Is that it?
Odłóż broń! Nie jesteś wcale taki głupi, na jakiego wyglądasz.
That was it? Okay, I was expecting a lot more. I wonder if I broke the sequence by warping to talk to Homer first instead of coming back to deal with Dinkle. But I mean, eventually he's going to talk to Cortez and be like, hey, my slave's missing. You had promised me compensation, and then Cortez is going to be like, what are you talking about? Like, isn't this going to blow back on me at some point? This is not a good plan. Okay, so if I can maybe talk to Lena somehow. We got 2 possible treasure hunts I can work on. I'm supposed to be beating people up. I think I beat Rodrigo up. I don't know who else I can beat up, though. Thought I had confronted everybody possible. Talked to everybody that I could. I really want to beat up Dinkle and Dan, but the game won't let me beat them up. So the quest log said I might need to talk to Oscar about Lena. Fox had no dialogue, right? He was pretty unresponsive. So, Oscar, why is there a dead body in your
Czemu w
tavern?
twojej karczmie leży trup?
Nawet mi nie przypominaj. Cortez już dawno miał kogoś przysłać, żeby się tym zajął. Tymczasem czekam i nie mogę go nawet wywalić, bo wielki kapitan musi się dowiedzieć, kto zabił tego pijaka.
This sounds like a quest. What if I go back to Cortez and ask about the dead guy? Will I get any interaction? It sounds like there's a murder investigation. Fox is the prime suspect because he's not talking about anything else. Nope. Now, let's try this again. You know anything about that girl in the cave?
Wiesz coś o tej dziewczynie z jaskini?
Zamęczą ją na śmierć, zamiast po prostu zwrócić już jej wolność. Przed tym, jak dali nogę ze straży, chcieli jeszcze trochę zarobić na jakimś okupie. Ale nie zarobili. Zamiast porwać córeczkę bogatego kupca ze Starego Miasta, wzięli pierwszą lepszą dziewczynę, jaką zobaczyli.
Nikt się nie zainteresował tą sprawą?
Przez przystań przewija się sporo ludzi. Większość idzie na okup albo do niewolniczej pracy na innych wyspach. Dziewczyny często lądują tutaj w karczmie i pewnie stamtąd stałoby się to samo, ale Gregor potrafi naprawdę porządnie przywalić ciekawskim. Siedzą w tej swojej grocie i nikomu nie wchodzą w drogę, to i nikt nie wchodzi w drogę im. Iwan kiedyś rozmawiał z chłopakami o tej sprawie. Może od niego dowiesz się czegoś więcej.
Okay. First, I want to talk to this guy,
Ej,
Vincente.
czekaj. Podobno ktoś widział, jak sprałeś naszego dzielnego Rodrigo.
Może.
Jestem w szoku. Sprawiałeś raczej wrażenie mizernego. Wiesz co? Ja też mam ochotę rozruszać kości.
Co takiego?
No nie daj się prosić. Mały pojedynek. Słuchaj, jak wygrasz, to dostaniesz ode mnie spory mieszek złota. Co ty na to?
What do you get if I lose?
No, w sumie czemu nie?
Wspaniale. Daj znać, kiedy będziesz gotowy.
This is not what I was expecting. I wanted to ask you about the dead body. But I'll fight you. I'm happy to fight. More people I can fight, the better.
Hej! Łap za broń. Będziemy się bić.
Ha! W końcu. Będą z ciebie ludzie. Za mną.
Whoa. Don't trip over the dead guy on the way out.
No, wyciągaj broń. Tylko się postaraj.
What kind of weapons? You got a board crasher. It looks dope, but it's weak. Weak AF.
Zobaczymy następnym razem. Niech mnie Beliar uszczypnie. Naprawdę masz talent, chłopcze. Nie myślałeś o udziale w turnieju? Zrobiłbyś furorę. Trzymaj, należy ci się mała nagroda. Może spróbuj się zmierzyć z Danem.
I will happily go up against Dan after I talk to some more of these people. You all don't know anything about Lena, do you?
Ej, ty.
You don't know anything? The Lutenist probably wouldn't. Ivy is still not
Jestem
talking.
trochę zajęty.
Larry don't know nothing. Fox ain't talking. Talking to Large Benjamin is a death sentence. This guy wouldn't have any new dialogue about anything, would he?
Chwila.
How you doing? Whoop, I hit the wrong button. That's fine, I didn't want to know anyway. What I really want is to beat the crap out of Dan.
Ej, ty. Podobno można odbyć z tobą pojedynek.
Hej, dzieciaku! Powoli! Może się najpierw przedstaw. Powiedz, co tu robisz i dlaczego chcesz dostać ode mnie po mordzie.
Chcę zdobyć szacunek.
No, trudny cel sobie obrałeś. Jesteś pewien, że nie wolisz zrobić czegoś prostszego? Na przykład zabić trolla?
Jestem Marvin.
No cóż, nikt sobie sam nie wybierał imienia.
You insult my name, good sir? Prepare for misery.
Zobaczymy, kto tu dostanie po mordzie.
Oho, pitny chłopczyk z ciebie. Dobrze, lubię takich uczyć życia.
Wyzywam cię na pojedynek. Chyba nie odmówisz sprania takiego słabeusza.
Cóż, nie ukrywam, miło było komuś porachować kości. Rozbawiłeś mnie. Słyszałem, że dałeś wcześniej po mordzie kilku osobom w przystani. Daj znać, kiedy będziesz gotowy. Trzeba ci pokazać, jakie prawa tu obowiązują.
in shooting? What?
Możemy zaczynać.
Twoja wola. Zatańczymy. Dobrze, chodź ze mną.
I don't want to compete in shooting because I ain't got no...
No, pokaż, czego się nauczyłeś.
I ain't got no combat for shooting. Then again, this guy doesn't even have a thing equipped. Brutal Orc Axe. I mean, it certainly looks intimidating, but it is inferior.
Lepiej nie próbuj tego po raz drugi. O, bracie, nigdy czegoś takiego nie widziałem. Gdzie się tego nauczyłeś?
Tu i tam. Dzięki za miły trening.
Cholera, przez miesiąc będę o tym mówić, albo dłużej.
A few mugs to beat. I beat Dan in a duel. Who next? Who wants more of my hammer? I'm supposed to talk to Ivan. But I want to beat people up. I really want to beat up Dinkle.
Ej, ty.
Is he still invincible? Like, didn't I try beating him up and he was like, nah. I don't suppose you want to get beat up, do you? I didn't think so. That's who I'm supposed to talk to about Lena. You still don't want to get into a fight? Understandable.
Hej,
About the cave girl.
podobno wiesz coś o dziewczynie z jaskini.
Oskar ci powiedział, co? Dureń! No dobra, słuchaj. Kilka miesięcy temu spotkałem w pobliżu przystani tropiciela z gildii. Mówił, że szuka jakiejś młodej dziewczyny o imieniu Lena. I od razu zabrzmiało mi to jakoś znajomo. Podobno wszystkie tropy prowadziły tutaj, na bagna. Dopiero po chwili dotarło do mnie, że to właśnie tak ci dwaj strażnicy wołali na dziewczynę, którą trzymają w swojej jaskini. Dla naszego bezpieczeństwa musiałem odwieźć tego łowcę z dala od przystani. Nawet nie chcę wiedzieć, co by mi zrobił Cortez, gdybym przypadkiem tu kogoś sprowadził.
I co dalej?
Nic! Nie wracałem już do tej sprawy. Opowiedziałem jedynie przy piwie kilku chłopakom o tym, co się stało. A ten grubas musiał to podsłuchać. Powiem ci od siebie, że gdyby coś się tym draniom stało, to raczej nikt by za nimi nie tęsknił. Ale uważaj, to twarde sztuki.
So what, you want me to kill Gregor and whoever? I mean, I can do that. Is that really what you want me to do? Ivan told me about his encounter with the scouters. All indications are that the girl being held in the cave is Lena. I'll have to talk to Gregor. Okay. I basically just got confirmation that the girl in the cave whom they would not talk to me about is Lena. So now I might be able to confront them. And with any luck, they'll try to fight me and I can beat them up some more, because I am all about cracking skulls with my spiked hammer.
Podobno nieźle sprałeś dupę naszemu bohaterowi. Grubas pewnie się pali ze wstydu. Jesteś w porządku, gość. Trzymaj się.
Ooh, which one? Dan? Vincente? Has the guy come back for his soup yet? Proximo has stopped doing his levitating act. Okay, so Morty, pretty sure I beat him up before. Now I can target imprisoned girl.
Co jest? Odejdź, nie wolno ci ze mną rozmawiać.
You're not allowed to talk to us. Or is it, we're not allowed to talk to you? I think it's, shh, you're not allowed to talk to us. To quote the women from Gothic 1.
Ta dziewczyna, którą przetrzymujecie, to Lena, prawda?
Skąd wiesz, jak się nazywa? Gadałeś z nią?
Nie tak trudno do tego dojść. Wystarczy zapytać, kogo trzeba. W każdym razie powinniście ją uwolnić.
A co to za żądania?
Porwaliście ją dla okupu, czyż nie?
Tak, ale niestety nie było nikogo, kto zapłaciłby za nią rozsądną cenę.
Zapłacę wam ten okup.
Ale nam się trafił bohater. Po pierwsze, nawet nie wiesz, ile chcemy za jej życie. A po drugie, samo złoto nie wystarczy.
I also don't want to pay the ransom. I want to beat the crap out of you guys. And just take her and see what you try to do to stop me.
Ej, ty. Jak leci?
Całkiem dobrze. Nie nasz...
You gotta be kidding me. You gonna make me pay the ransom?
Ile będzie kosztować jej wolność?
Zacznijmy od kwoty 300 sztuk złota. Tak na dobry początek. A że z Mortim lubimy uczcić dobry interes, to przynieś nam jeszcze 20 butelek piwa, a do tego 10 kiełbas. W końcu coś do przegryzienia też się przyda.
Here we are.
Zmieniłem zdanie. Oddacie mi ją za darmo.
We'll give it.
Nie żartuje się z takich spraw. Pora nauczyć kultury. Morty!
Isn't the term give her to me? Oh, he's climbing over the table. Oh my god. Oh, he died. Okay. Now they're dead. That's fine.
Nic tu nie ma.
Feels kind of bad, like murdering named NPCs. 'Cause for all I know, they could have some other involvement with some other quest. Unlikely, but all the same. Guard's belt. Hey, you.
Jesteś wolna.
Nie wiem, kim jesteś, ale dziękuję.
Twoja matka wciąż cię szuka. Zaprowadzę cię do niej.
Cieszę się, że nie straciła jeszcze nadziei. Jestem słaba, ale może uda mi się za tobą nadążyć. Prowadź.
Oh, how are we gonna get there, though? Can you teleport with me? Hello.
Słyszałem, że prowadzisz tu interesy. Mogę wiedzieć, czemu mnie nie powiadomiłeś o swoich zamiarach?
Oskar mówił, że nikt nie zainteresował się całą sprawą.
Interesuje mnie wszystko, co się dzieje w przystani. Jeśli myślisz, że od tak pozwolę ci ją sobie zabrać, to jesteś w dużym błędzie. Dziewczyna za dużo przez ten czas widziała i słyszała.
Did I even have the chance to talk to you? I mean, when I kept trying to talk to you, you had no dialogue, but to be fair, I never went back after Oscar.
Zabijesz ją? Tak po prostu?
Nie. Dzięki tobie odzyskała wolność. Może poruszać się swobodnie po terenie przystani. Gdy dojdzie do siebie, znajdziemy jej tutaj odpowiednie zajęcie. I zapamiętaj sobie, że następnym razem w tego typu sprawach masz się udać w pierwszej kolejności do mnie.
Nie interesuje cię, co stało się z dezerterami?
Nie należeli do mojej załogi. Jeśli byli na tyle bezużyteczni, że sam pozbyłeś się ich obu, to i tak nie miałbym z nich żadnego pożytku.
Okay, so you gotta stay.
Jakoś sobie poradzę.
Musi być jakiś sposób, by cię stąd wydostać.
Żeby później mnie wyśledzili i zabili? Albo co gorsza, zrobili coś mojej matce? Nie chcę żyć w ciągłym strachu. Najważniejsze, że wyrwałam się od tych oprawców. Powiedz mojej matce, że żyję i mam się dobrze. Daj jej ten amulet, sama mi go kiedyś przekazała. Rozpozna go bez problemu.
Tak zrobię. Wracaj do zdrowia.
This is my life now. It's the mentality she has taken. So I just gotta go back to what's her face, Nadine. What's a amulet worth? Lena's amulet is blunt edge and magic protection. That's actually kind of nice. Good amulet. But for example, if I were to reload the save just before dealing with these guys, like, is it possible for me to go and talk to what's his face? Cortez. Oh wait, do I need to... I've already talked to him about Lena, right? There we go. So could try talking to Cortez now.
Hej!
The whole thing, though, is that you're naturally not going to be inclined to go out of your way to come talk to Cortez, because you're right there, you're solving the problem, and you're talking with them, and you're just like, okay. So unless you're, like, really thinking about it, you might just... It's really easy to just go with the flow and not interrupt the sequence. But what happens if I try to talk to him? So you can't talk to him after all. I was right before when I was like, I tried talking to you about things, but you didn't have any dialogue. Okay. So that's that. And meanwhile, it occurs to me that it is... This guy wants to talk to me, apparently.
Goniec Archolos. W końcu na ciebie wpadłem. Zaprowadź mnie do wilczego leża.
Gildia jest tuż obok. Tam zapytaj. Moi koledzy na pewno się tobą zajmą.
Dzięki wielkie. W końcu ktoś pomocny.
Alright.
Chwila.
Muszę trafić do wilczego...
Yeah. But I am not for hire right now, sir. Has this line gotten longer? I think it has. Is the bald guy still at the head of the line, though? It's a different guy. Look, the line has changed. Look at that. The line got longer and the sequence has changed. How's the work going?
Jak idzie praca?
Pewnie o tym nie wiesz, ale kaligrafia jest tego, żebyś
Anyway, I was going to say, because it is now a new chapter, I was going to remember to come talk to some of these other people. Hey look, he's actually talking to the runner. You need to talk to the guy at the wagon, though. Because it's a new chapter, some of these people may have new inventories, or possibly skill training, or dialogue.
Mamy coś ważnego do zrobienia.
My? Zapowiada się ciekawie.
Oj, wolałbym się trochę ponudzić, niż musieć to zrobić. Jedna z naszych najlepszych informatorek, karczmarka Helga, została okradziona. Odgraża się, że przestanie z nami współpracować, bo nie pilnowaliśmy jej zapasów. Pójdę z nią pogadać, uspokoję ją. A ty zajmiesz się odzyskiwaniem skradzionego towaru.
Mam kogoś do pomocy?
Tak, wysłałem na miejsce 3 gońców. Dowiedz się, co udało im się ustalić. Czekają na ciebie w piwnicy karczmy.
Okay, I didn't expect an urgent quest. I thought maybe I could talk to him about skill training or something.
Dobra robota z powoli zaczynasz łapać.
He don't train me yet. Maybe Lorenzo will let me do something to promote myself. Can I talk to Pablo about the situation?
Ludzie, dla których
That's no different. How about Ingor? Show me your goods. He's got an apple. Permanent health potion. Same runner's belt. None of these weapons look new, though. Show me your armor. That's what I have, right? So that's not any better. Dima. Kind of looks like her inventory got bigger, but I'm still not seeing anything like destroy undead. No, the closest I have is just the harm evil type stuff that the miscellaneous trader had in the pirates camp. This guy wants to talk to me. Hey, he made it in.
Nie myślę,
Took you
że
long enough.
zapomniałem o tym, jak pomogłeś mi wtedy na drodze. Szczerze mówiąc, to właśnie dzięki tobie wymyśliłem wspaniały pomysł na nowy interes. Od dzisiaj będę naprawiał zniszczone wozy i dostarczał potrzebne części tym, którzy utknęli w drodze. Już nikt nie będzie musiał tkwić na ławce przy swoich towarach przez kilka godzin, bo jego wóz rozleciał się na wyboistej drodze. Potrzebne mi będzie jednak trochę kół, a że tutejsi rzemieślnicy żądają za nie sporo złota, to pomyślałem, że może zdobędziesz ich dla mnie trochę więcej. Wystarczy, że rozejrzysz się wokół zniszczonych wozów. Z pewnością znajdziesz ich mnóstwo na całej wyspie. Za każdą sztukę zapłacę ci kilka monet, więc nie trać czasu i do roboty.
I just so happen to have a few.
Mam dla ciebie te koła.
Doskonale, tego właśnie mi było trzeba.
That was it? You give me 9 gold per wheel?
Mam dla ciebie te koła.
Naprawdę? Nie widzę, byś miał je przy sobie.
That's kind of a lame reward. Did he... It's also will buy wooden cartwheels. Okay. Okay. It's not really a quest. But that's fine. How about you, Garros? You got any new anything? Take your time.
Marvin, właściwy człowiek na właściwym miejscu. Jest robótka do zrobienia. W zasadzie formalność. Nic szczególnego dla prawdziwego tropiciela.
Jeśli dostanę złoto za tę formalność, to czemu nie?
Prawdziwe nastawienie człowieka Araxos. Słuchaj, ktoś musi sprawdzić, czy wytyczne dla tropicieli dotyczące terenów łowieckich ciągle są aktualne. Masz. To one. Udaj się we wskazane miejsca i oceń, czy stan faktyczny zgadza się z opisem. Obawiam się, że przez obecną sytuację na wyspie zwierzęta mogły zmienić nawyki. No, leć. Nie chcemy przecież, żeby ktoś, kto poszedł polować na ścierwojady zgodnie z wytycznymi, trafił na obszar zajęty przez zębacze.
Okay. New orders.
Hej, ty.
Hey, you. What's up?
Nieźle, chociaż
That's the same old, same old. Sunder. Anything new with you? Probably not. Do you have new inventory? Show me your goods. People of the North, secrets of Minecrawler secretions. So I could buy these, and then I think, you know, you gain health or mana or something when you eat these. But I am not in the mood to do that right now.
Sytuacja na wyspie jest...
It's the same old, same old. This guy is still nothing.
Mam dużo spraw na głowie.
Rudy. So, Lorenzo, you got anything for me?
Hej, ty.
Is something wrong?
Wydajesz się czymś zmartwiony. Coś się stało?
Marvin, miałeś już okazję odwiedzić naszą kopalnię złota?
Some time ago, yes.
Jakiś czas temu ją odwiedziłem. Udało mi się zarobić kilka monet.
Pewnie zauważyłeś, że delikatnie mówiąc, nie wszystko przebiega tam zgodnie z procedurami. Dochodzą mnie wieści, że nastroje stają się coraz bardziej napięte, a z każdym dniem widzę, jak trafia do nas coraz więcej skarg i pozwów. Obawiam się, że jeśli tak dalej pójdzie, to może dojść do jakiegoś buntu, a to byłby świetny pretekst dla królewskich, by przejąć kopalnię. Znając ich aktualną politykę, połowę górników wysłaliby prosto do górniczej doliny.
Co mam zrobić?
Chcę, żebyś za kilka dni ponownie udał się do kopalni. Dowiedz się, co tam się naprawdę dzieje i upewnij się, że praca będzie przebiegać jak dawniej. Jeśli górnicy rzeczywiście planują jakiś przewrót, to musisz rozbić ich grupę. Tylko nie zacznij ich tam mordować. Roderich patrzy nam na ręce.
I to nie będzie podejrzane, jeśli nagle wrócę do kopalni.
Większość górników regularnie odwiedza kopalnię. Poza tym sporo ludzi przeraziło się perspektywą zesłania do górniczej doliny. I mamy ostatnio wielu nowych pracowników. Nie martw się, nikt nie zwróci uwagi na twój powrót. Tylko pamiętaj, nikt nie może wiedzieć o twoim zadaniu. Nawet strażnicy i sam Igor.
Możesz mi coś powiedzieć o Igorze? Nie miałem okazji go poznać.
Zawsze był człowiekiem od liczb. To właśnie z tego powodu został wybrany na zarządcę kopalni. Dostawy zawsze były na czas i dokładnie odliczone, ale ostatnio jest z tym dużo gorzej. Może nie radzi sobie z zapanowaniem nad tymi wszystkimi górnikami? Tak czy inaczej, nie możemy sobie teraz pozwolić na straty w tak istotnej inwestycji jak kopalnia. Gdyby Igor sprawiał ci kłopoty lub nie chciał uwierzyć, że jesteś w kopalni z mojego polecenia, to pokaż mu tę pieczęć. Tylko pod żadnym pozorem nie może jej zobaczyć nikt inny.
The one guy takes all my stuff. Isn't he gonna see it? Do I have to show the gate guard that when I get there?
Wyruszę do kopalni w ciągu najbliższych dni.
Miej oczy i uszy szeroko otwarte.
Okay, so now I've got quite a few quests from these guys. New orders are from Garros, and he gave me a guidelines to read. Beats the hell out of me what that looks like. Here it is. Tracker guidelines 4, 5, and 6. 4. Signal Tower Foothills. Scavenger breeding ground. Occasional presence of other wildlife. At one point there was a shadow beast there. Potentially. Depending on how you do a quest. Then the Amber Coast habitat for crabs. Presence of their young on shore occasionally attracts lurkers. Threat level, medium. Potential profits, medium. Forest by Little Vineyard. Who's that? Rita? Lots of wild raiders, frequent presence of other wild creatures, mainly high. Okay. So he wants me to go to those 3 locations and confirm if the wildlife there and the danger and such matches. And Adelard wants me to go talk to Helga.
Ludzie gadają o tym i o tamtym.
Presumably, if I do all 3 of these quests, then I can get another promotion and get better armor. He wants to talk to me, I think. Maybe not. He just wants. He just wanted to look at me. Show me your goods.
Proszę.
Have I read all of these? Oh dear. I forgot about this guy when... I don't think I have a foreigner's guide to Archolos. I might have to read this. So I shall. Don't I have this one, the Great Magician Miktar? Like a dark blue cover. Uniter. I don't see it, so I guess I'll buy it. And then these ones appear to just give me bonuses, which is kind of cool, I guess, but it's not much for the amount of money they cost, so screw that. So here we are, A Foreigner's Guide to Archolos, Volume 1. Newcomer's description of Archolos. No, don't count on me to describe to you in detail how I ended up on Archolos. The story sounds as amazing as it is pathetic, and I happen to have a reputation to uphold. However, the gracious winds brought me from the far south to this exotic land northeast of the Sea of Myrtana. Were it not for a contract with a friendly merchant family, I would probably have nothing to look for here. In fact, I'm guessing the locals wouldn't even let me into the Harbor Tavern. Archolos is an old country with a rich history, of which the native inhabitants are often and eagerly reminded. Strangers tend to be unwelcome here, especially the penniless and the newcomers from the southern islands. If you're a southerner, you have a problem. If you are a poor southerner, you have a double problem. Fate had never spared me gold in my life, so at least having no roof over my head and dying of hunger were not a threat. Taking advantage of my free time, I decided to write a few words about the island and its inhabitants. Who knows, maybe they will save you a few problems. Too late! I'm already in Chapter 3. The town. The first and most obvious point of my trip was the city. The truth was told by sailors about the size of this agglomeration. It is huge. Its countless streets, passageways, arcades, and overpasses are sure to make you dizzy. Whether you've been here for a while or not, I advise you to buy Cartographer Ludwig's city map with key directional points marked on it. If you still get lost, ask any of the Araxos Merchants Guild runners for directions. They will lead you anywhere you want, of course, if you toss them a few coins beforehand. Archolos is a city of many possibilities, but it is just as easy to get a blade under your ribcage here if you are not careful. Once you've made your way through the throngs of workers and the poor in the harbor, stop by the Siren's Whale for a pint of ale. Helga, the tavern's owner, may serve nasty beer, but she's also a treasure trove of gossip and information. The most important thing is to find a job. Even if it's carrying barrels of rotten fish, you have to work in this town. Otherwise, sooner or later, you will end up on the street, and from there, you will take straight to the path of the poorhouse. And believe me, you don't want to end up there. Village of Silbach. Prepare yourself, dear reader, for the inhabitants of this village to be only slightly nicer. There's like a missing verb. Prepare yourself, dear reader, for the inhabitants of this village to be only slightly nicer than a herd of angry scavengers. The verb is to be. Okay. They will stare you down, spit at your feet, and threaten with their fists, especially Gabriel. Day and night he guards some shed like a rabid dog guards a piece of rotten meat. I had the impression that he didn't beat my face in just because he didn't want to listen to the lamentations of the steward later on. Albin, the village elder, is the voice of the people in Silbox, so don't expect a warm welcome from him. Before he lets you speak, he will recite a whole litany of rights and duties. If you want to live in harmony with him, you'd better take his words to heart. He's a strict man, but he appreciates hard work and people. Impress him, and you will earn his respect. I stayed at Bastian's Inn and even got warm food there. He's probably the most decent man I've met in the village. He cares about the guests no matter who they are or where they come from, as long as they have something to pay for it. He helps me with a local drunkard, Rick. If he hadn't done that, I'm sure I would have been in chains. If you can survive in Silback, I give you my word you will survive anywhere on this island. Fishing settlements. After reaching Archolos, I asked the carrier to drop me off at the northeastern beach called by the locals Amber Coast. At first, the guy was a bit annoyed, but a few extra coins settled the matter, anything to avoid paying that horrendous duty. As soon as I stepped ashore, the fishermen working there gave me unfriendly glances, all except Duncan. The man handed me grog and offered to take me stealthily into harbor. I declined out of common sense, though he sounded like an honest man. I had a completely different impression when talking to the people on the west coast. The settlement managed by Zachary, called Sailor's Retreat, is a real oasis of peace. The fishermen there, former sailors of the Myrtanian fleet, live from day to day, practicing simple but honest crafts. Zachary is a man of principle with great faith in the law. He also has big knowledge of history. If you have some time, sit by the campfire and listen to some stories. His friend Harold collects and sells various trinkets thrown ashore by the waves. Although most of that is junk, sometimes you can find a real beauty. This is like literally beginner's guide to each area of the game. Most of this is info that you just figure out without needing to read a book. But here's Burmer's farm. To the southwest of Sailor's Retreat, you'll find a farm owned by the landowner Burmer. Its inhabitants value hard work and are clearly proud of it. Unlike those in Silbach, they will welcome you with open arms as long as your presence does not become a burden. Despite the fact that the farm is surrounded by woods from all sides and there is only one road leading to it, the people seem unconcerned about bandits and wild animals. One of the workers, named Hod, claims that this is due to divine intervention and the fact that the locals live in harmony with nature. I find it hard to believe the words of a guy who never parts with a bottle of grog. Burmer is the complete opposite of his employees. He is a nervous and abrasive man, especially towards his son Kyle, whom he constantly rushes to work. On the other hand, I even understand him. Managing a farm operations is a big responsibility. Despite his sharp tongue, Burmer commands respect from people. Apparently, he also maintains good relationships with the merchant guild of Araxis, whose mercenaries often visit the farm. The vineyards. While on Archolos, it would be a sin not to visit its famous vineyards that produce arguably the best wine in the world. There are 2 grape farms on the island, one in the north near the town and one in the south near the village. Each is characterized by a different work policy and, of course, the taste of the wine produced. The northern vineyard, managed by a certain Valerio, produces strong and expressive wines that directly reach the tables of the richer part of society. Although the owner has many years on his neck, he still vigorously fulfills his duties. In his work, he is also helped by his 2 sons who, to put it lightly, are not in love with each other. I swear that when the old man dies, knives will be drawn between the brothers. The southern vineyard is run by a rival winemaking company, the Arazola family. They produce light and sweet wines, contrasting with the heavy aromatic drinks of the competitor from the north. It was their liquors that appealed to me the most. The woman says she doesn't make much money from them and has to look for markets wherever she can. Her employees seem much nicer than the people in the north, and most importantly, they are also much more open to strangers. Wolf's Den. In the east of the island, just beyond the charcoal pile and the large lake, rises a mountain fortress called Wolf's Den by the locals. It is said to be ruled by a Burgrave who reclaimed it from its previous owner years ago. I tried to learn more about the history of this fortress, but the people I met nearby were silent and unwilling to talk. I had the impression that they were afraid of something. Although the fortress looked old at first sight, one could feel a certain majesty emanating from it, a reminder of its past glory. The way through the gate was blocked by a stout sentry dressed in full armor from head to toe. He looked like a golem. He didn't take out the big axe on his back, but firmly ordered me to move back. I obeyed. Helmutz, the builder who works on the other side of the lake, told me that these warriors sometimes visited his outpost to see if the charcoal burners were doing their jobs properly. For what purpose? He would not say. He was reticent, just like the other people of the Wolf's Den. Or maybe he was just afraid of those boneheads. If I were you, reader, I would avoid this place by a wide margin. Too late. The monastery. Plus 10 HP. Although the fire mages have worked hard over the centuries to bring people of Archolos to worship the one true deity they believe in, their efforts have been unsuccessful. The best proof of this is the monastery of Ananos, located in the eastern part of the island. At the request of my contractor, I went to the tabernacle to personally see to the transportation of the goods. However, I could not refrain from looking around. The monastery complex truly outshines even the palace building in my homeland. I'm sure that this work of the architecture could not have been made by a mortal. The building rises on 2 islands, the larger one, which houses the shelter and wings for water mages and novices, and the smaller one intended for members of the High Council. The mages live a modest life despite the great power they surely possess. They spend most of their time praying and teaching the novices. Unlike their counterparts in the city, they do not beg for donations for the church, but try to be self-sufficient by planting herbs and vegetables. By day, the monastery is impressive, but its true beauty will be seen when the sun goes down. The eerie crystals along the pathway illuminate the shrouded sanctuary, glowing all shades of blue. Wonderful! So there's that. Now I picked up a couple other random individual books that I have to track down. Great Magician Miktar. I thought I already had this one, but apparently not. There have been many fire mages of extraordinary piety, great magical knowledge, or unparalleled prudence, but few can match their achievements with Miktar the Prudent One. Unlike his brethren, he was able to maintain a perfect balance between firmness and spreading the faith of forbearance towards unenlightened. He believed that mages should not frighten and intimidate, but teach and inspire. Hence, he commanded great respect even among the water mages. He spent many years traveling to the farthest reaches of the world, where he passed on not only his teachings in Innos, but also the basics of history and sciences. During one such adventure, he came into possession of a staff by which he was recognized for many years. The Star's Judgment. I have that. I think. Maybe. He took that name from a ballad. Unfortunately, the Lord was all too quick to take him in. While his head was still gray, he gave up his spirit by saving a small village from a host of the foul spawn of Beliar. His faith was so strong that his body burned, cleansing the area of all impurity without harming any innocent. I've read General Subli, right? Story of the Archer Kalen. The island of Kalen hosts a great shooting competition every year. The winner can ask the governor to grant one wish. Young Patrick has long wanted to become a traveler and explore unknown archipelagos. However, he never had enough gold, so he decided to try his hand at the competition. In the port, he met Petra. I know her. A merchant from the Merchant's Guild who offered him a solid but small bow. Its advantage was its extraordinary accuracy, the arrows always silently hitting the most sensitive point of the very center of the shield. The merchant assured that she had a lot of experience, contacts, and respect in the merchant world. Without hesitation, Patrick made a deal and handed over his last money. The competition was getting closer and Petra was not coming back. He started to ask merchants about her, but none had ever heard of her. The woman became a mystery that kept Patrick awake at night. After a few weeks of waiting, someone dropped off a box marked Silent Death, and turned out that inside was a piece of useless stick bound with string. So Petra is a fraud? I mean, she had me selling stuff around town. In fact, I would like to know where she is. I hope she didn't have any goods that she disappeared with that I might have wanted to buy. Pretty sure I've read that. Yeah. Fishermen of the Southern Islands. This one should be new. One of the local anecdotes that has long brightened the faces of weary sailors is the story of a fisherman from the Southern Islands. His name was Kentaru, supposedly in honor of his great-great-grandfather, a fearless sea dog who sailed all waters. Unlike his ancestor, Kentaru never ventured far out to sea. He cast his nets from a nearby bay, waiting for some zander or perch to fall into them. Usually around noon when the sun started to set, he would stretch out in a hammock on the boat and sip dark beer. He had always believed that with the help of this drink, he could not only have a better time, but also catch good fish. One hot day, he emptied his beer in one gulp and fell asleep. The wind grew stronger and the rough waves pushed the boat deeper into the sea. Kentaro awoke at the shore of an unknown island. Disoriented, he paced back and forth until he met a local who welcomed him to Archolos and led him to the sailor's retreat. Stories of amazing fish awakened his thirst for adventure. He wanted to catch something big, so the next morning he boarded the local cutter. I think that's it for the new books. Tangled Tongue is new. The poet Vidrun in one of his works wrote, "There are as many languages in the world as there are stars in the sky." This is partially true. Whether you are in Vengard, Corinus, or Archolos, you are bound to encounter people from all corners of the world speaking different dialects. You'll find mercenaries from the Southern Isles, armed to the teeth, merchants from Middle Verant selling their wares to the locals for half price, and grumpy Nordmarians spending their days in taverns. Although each of them speaks Western tongue, a set of common linguistic rules that facilitate communication, it is impossible not to notice some discrepancies. Vanguardian used characteristic hard consonants. Vanguardian use characteristic hard consonants. The inhabitants of Archolos, on the other hand, have trouble articulating the melodious names of newcomers from southern Myrtana. Believers will say that Innos tangled people's tongues as punishment for them bowing to Beliar. Scholars, however, will say that diversity of dialects and accents in the world is rooted in the natural process of the development of different cultures. Tangled Tongue Volume 2. It's the last volume. Plus 2 HP. Languages and dialects were, are, and will be artificial creations created not as divine intervention, but as one of the key elements of the process of formation of different cultures in different regions of the world. To better understand their issue, I will use examples. Native Vanguardians, but also newcomers who wish to be understood, often clearly articulate certain elements of speech, especially in names of foreign origin. The southern name Sharad is spoken by them literally. The people of Zandir Sol, on the other hand, read it as Sarad, with the hard consonant H. Okay. I said it correctly the first time. The southern name Sahrad, I guess, that's probably what they want it to sound like. The linguistic differences, however, are not only at the level of speech, but also in the way words are accented. The inhabitants of the Eastern Archipelago stress the first syllable when pronouncing their own names. In the word Archolos, however, the stress on the syllable R may also have historical connotations, as the name of the island was once devoid of the prefix arch. Language is a fluid thing, depending on where the people who speak it were born. However, it is also a kind of richness. We should still keep the memory of our roots alive by nurturing accents and dialects before they can be found only between the pages of history. I need to find a place to store all these books. I'm getting too many books. Every time I find a new thing, it's going to be impossible to find what I want. I don't want to just sell them to a merchant, because if for some reason in the future I wanted to read something again, I would have no ability to. I'd have to go back and buy it and pay full price again. I don't want to do that. Oh, I thought I was going into the merchant district. The artisans district, but I want to go this way. You don't have any new dialogue, do you? I really don't want to be talking to every person here. I mainly wanted to just check for like guild advancement quests and inventories of merchants and things.
Chwila.
Cześć, Marvin.
Jest coś, w czym mogę pomóc?
Oczywiście.
Mam wykuć coś specjalnego?
Nie, nie tym razem. Kilka dni temu odwiedził mnie pewien podróżnik. Chciał sprzedać projekt na ciekawą broń, ale żądał zdecydowanie za dużo. Odmówiłem. Przemyślałem sobie sprawę przez noc i stwierdziłem, że nie była to najlepsza decyzja. Moim zadaniem jest go znaleźć i odkupić projekt.
Jakieś wskazówki, gdzie może być?
Mówił coś o polowaniu na górskie trole. A strażnicy widzieli, jak szedł w kierunku bursztynowego wybrzeża.
Amber Coast Legendary Recipe. Show me your goods.
Co ma?
Znajdziesz u mnie tylko...
This is the same crap. Your recipes are all the same crap too, aren't they? None of this looks any good. You have forsaken me, sir. Maybe if I do the quest, he'll unlock new dialogue, new options. So, where is my map for the city? Map of Archolos town. Alice might be worth checking in on. That's about the only other person I would think might have anything of interest. I should turn in that quest to Nadine. Let her know that Lena is doing all right, but is in a situation against her will where she cannot return home, and sadly has to make the best of things. Hey,
Mam wieści.
Gdzie moja córka? Nie mów mi proszę, że nie żyje.
Jest wolna i wraca do zdrowia, ale nie może opuścić miejsca, w którym obecnie przebywa.
Jak to? Czyli nadal jest więźniem?
Poniekąd tak, ale lepsze to niż przesiadywanie w celi. Jeśli to cię pocieszy, wiedz, że jej porywacze nie żyją.
Nic z tego nie rozumiem.
To skomplikowane. Lena prosiła, bym ci przekazał, że ma się dobrze.
Świadomość, że żyje mi wystarczy. Proszę, weź go. Nie mam jak inaczej cię nagrodzić.
What? I guess thank you.
Dziękuję, przyda się.
Gdy będziesz go nosił, pamiętaj o nas.
Oh. She was offering it to me. I really wasn't paying attention to what she was saying, because I thought this was going to be a straightforward quest resolution. I thought she was offering me a generic reward. I'd kind of like her to have it. Oh no. Well... Apparently I only lost 5 minutes, so I'm gonna replay that. Make sure she gets to keep her, or whatchamacallit. What did I do other than just talk to her, though? I bought and read all of those books. Right? Like... That's the Foreigner's Guide that I just bought, yeah. How did I spend 5 minutes just talking to her? That's not right. Oh, I probably went to Ogdar. That's what it was. Alright, that'll be easy to do. I have news. Because I'm probably not going to wear it when I have one that's okay, so...
Sprzedaj go. Pomoże ci to przetrwać trudne chwile.
Nie mogę puścić cię bez nagrody.
Oboje wiemy, że potrzebujesz tego znacznie bardziej niż ja.
Niech cię Adano schroni od złego. Moja biedna córka!
Yeah. Not everything went Nadine's way, but knowing that Lena was alive gave her some peace. Maybe someday she will be able to meet her daughter. Well, I can tell you where to go. But it sounds like once you go there, you're not allowed to leave unless your name is Marvin, because main characters are excluded from that rule. Where's that woman running to? He's late for a very important date.
Hej!
Are you?
Cześć! Jest...
So that's my official quest from him. So where did I want to go? I was talking about maybe visiting Alice, but she would be around over here somewhere. I guess I should check the notice boards, but I'm scared they're gonna spam me with crap. Alright. Wanted posters. Ay. Ice Wolves, Bloodsucker, Hardy, Rebellious Novice, Sewerman, Toll Collector. Security, Dima, Walter. Now I gotta read all this. Bloodsucker. Recently, there have been rumors of a large winged monster in the sewers drinking the blood of its victims. Even if the wounds are not fatal, it threatens to spread dangerous diseases throughout the city. Although the sewers are not meant to be visited by citizens according to current regulations, the Merchant Guild has decided to fund a solution to this problem. The beast is last seen on the lower floor of the sewers near a breach in the wall. Well, I kind of remember where that was. Reward of 250 gold for getting rid of it to be collected from Hunter Garros. We got a toll collector. Roderick denies rumors that members of the city guard were ordered to collect tolls from people who travel roads on Archolos. All the imposters are to face the consequences of the highest possible punishment. One of such toll collectors has been spotted south of Silbach near the wooden bridge. A reward of 200 gold is hereby offered to anyone who carries out the death sentence on this felon. The bounty can be received from guardsman Octave. Hardy. Guards in possessive form on the city walls are sending reports of an overgrown crab that has begun feeding near an apple tree just outside the city moat, halfway between the gates. Farmers working in nearby fields warn that the creature is even preying on nearby field raiders. There's a reward of 200 gold for getting rid of the monster related from Harvard. Ice wolves. Fishermen on the Amber Coast report an extremely unusual find. Several crates carrying animals from distant lands have drifted ashore near their camp. Fishermen saw the white animals get out of the damaged cages and move inland. They can most likely be found near the beach. The Merchant's Guild provides a reward of 200 for getting rid of them collected by the Merchant. Yeah. Rebellious somebody or other. It's a rebellious novice, that's right. Fire mages are saddened to learn of a terrible betrayal of one of their charges. A young novice, in a fit of anger, burned several holy books and then left the rectory with a chest full of magical scrolls. Members of the pursuit claim to have lost the culprit near the canyon between the city and Bodavin's workshop. The only punishment for such a heinous desecration is death. And so the person who carries out the sentence will be rewarded with 300 pieces from Octave. And then Sewerman. All citizens of the city are advised to exercise caution when in the vicinity of sewer entrances. The city guard has received numerous reports of thefts and extremely vicious beatings. According to witness statements, the thugs commit crimes on the city streets and return to the sewers and cut off the escape route by blocking the sewer entrances. There is a reward of 250 gold for the execution of the death sentence. So now I got all that, which means that a buttload of new tough enemies have just been spawned in the world. Security for the salt mine. The whole notice appears to be new, but at the same time it is painted with a big X to show that it is no longer valid. Levko is working for a decent, conscientious people with reasonable financial requirements to undertake additional guarding at the Royal Salt Mine. Work consists of controlling the work of miners, clearing new shafts of any dangers, as well as other minor tasks. Anyone interested? Welcome to mine boss's office near the bridge of the water. Well, I don't know if that's relevant or not. What was... I got a quest? It looks like Levko is looking to hire a cheap laborer, but the notices appear to be outdated. Either way, they might be worth checking out. Demand from Walter. I don't remember who that is. Artisan Walter will be purchasing 25 iron nuggets. So he's one of the blacksmiths, right? He doesn't forge weapons, though. He will offer full value in gold for each one, whether the vendor delivers the entire order immediately or just individual pieces. The iron must be delivered to his workshop in the Harbor District near the Shrine of the Water Mages. The easiest way to recognize the workshop is by the Merchants Guild runners at the entrance. So I could sell that to him. Demand for Dima. Merchant will pay full value for delivering powdered magic ore. She needs up to 100 measures of the substance, but she will also expect smaller deliveries. I don't know that I want to give her that. Restrictions on sewers. Hey! this would have helped me a while ago. This might be an old notice, though. Remind you, the lands according to the first meeting remain under control of members of the royal bloodline of Wolf Sons only. I don't. The beast is attacking again. That's old news, isn't it? What? Didn't I pick up much more? Didn't I pick up like 3 new things? Miners needed, that's old, right? This should be the same. Should be the same. This is from Albin. Dangerous areas around the village. Yeah. I don't feel confident that I read all of the notices that I picked up. It's because I thought there was more than just those. I guess it was 3, wasn't it? It was the one about the salt mine, and then it was Demas and Walter. Okay. So that might be right. How about you? You got anything new? Show me your goods. You don't got anything there. In this line, you have nothing new. Whoa. I guess I could check if maybe they have new ingredients. Possibly recipes. Show me your goods. Don't see any roots or sorrels. So that's of no use to me. No sign of Nelson over here. Show me your goods. You ain't got nothing. Show me your goods. So far, it really seems like nobody has new inventory in Chapter 3, so probably worth it to abandon the search at this point. In which case, I should get back to focusing on some of these other things. Blood money is what I'm supposed to be doing with Cortez. I do have these 2 side quests. I guess I should focus on the buried treasure quests that I had. So one of them was marked on a separate map as being behind the lighthouse, but I think I've already gotten that one. So if I go to the Amber Coast. Oh, hello. And those ice wolves. Man, I just warped into, like, a real shit show right here. Okay. Now that I survived that. Oh! How am I doing on time? An hour and 30 minutes. That's fun. Short sword. So... yeah, y'all go eat those guys. And then I will attack you in the back. These guys give a crap ton of XP. So those guys are dead. I really hope that they did not do a full spawn of new enemies everywhere. Just because I do not want to feel compelled to scour the entire map again looking for enemies just to, you know, maximize my character. I'm cool with having the new spawns for the bounties as like, here's new special enemies that are unique, that have a narrative purpose to be there. And then just putting a couple of like basic enemies, maybe like a few shadow beasts or trolls or whatever in certain out of the way spots. But like I really don't want to do the old school Gothic 1 and 2 thing of check the every single inch of the map looking for new enemies to get experience. Not that you have to do that, of course, but I am the type of player who is always compelled to do everything possible to max out my character. So if an opportunity presents itself to get more XP, I will do it. So that was my quest from Garros. Seems the young sea sharks have been taking a liking. We'll be able to make adjustments to the tracker guidelines. One spot checked off. Still no new dialogue from this guy Duncan, is there? Look at this guy's head when he chews. It gets all narrow. That's fun.
Widzieliście faceta polującego na trole?
Tak, był tutaj jakiś czas temu i pytał, gdzie je można znaleźć. Zgodnie z prawdą powiedzieliśmy mu, że łatwo je spotkać na klifach przy mieście. Więcej go nie widzieliśmy.
Apparently I should do that too while I'm here. Like everything, all signs are pointing to Amber Coast right now. I got my quest for Garros. Got my ice trolls or my ice wolves for wanted poster. The treasure is out here. In fact, let me just go grab that or check that. I'm pretty sure I have already looted that unless it is going to be a brand new diggable spot or something like that. Let's see, like there's a crabs over here, and now I'm like, okay, I got it. I have to go kill the crabs and the sea shark. And like, I really don't want to be doing this too much. Especially at this stage where I feel like I've beaten the difficulty curve. Because it's no longer a part of the satisfying challenge of conquering the world design by getting strong enough to face newer enemies and feeling like you're actually getting better. Now it's just become tedious farming is all it is. So I would be very happy if the game did not enable that sort of obsessive compulsive behavior in me to not enable me to go after every single enemy. So if I have any criticisms against Gothic 2, one of the big ones is that later chapters, they can get very bogged down with combat, where it's just tons and tons and tons of combat, like from chapter 4 and 5 and 6, that's like all you do. So many orcs and so many lizardmen. They spawn all over the place, and you're just like, okay, I'm tired of fighting. Can we just have adventure, do other fun things? But see, I think this is what that treasure map that I stole from Cortez, I think that's what this is depicting, is this little barrel. This little ledge down here. I think it is saying, look back here. To the right, sort of on the edge of a rock. I've definitely looted that. There's this thing over here too, but this one is behind it. So this would be the one that the map was indicating, so unless there's like something new here. I don't see a red X to dig on. I don't see new items. So I think I have to conclude that whatever that treasure was, I must have already gotten, because I'm not sure that there's anything there to loot. So therefore, I shall head up to those cliffs over yonder, or I might be able to find Ogdar's blueprint guy. Was there always a dead guy over there? Is this the guy I'm looking for? New orders. I killed all the she-sharks, so it should be quiet around here. I just have to remember to tell Garros about it. Oh. Oops. What was the purpose of this quest? Was it not to murder everything? I need to check the Amber Coast. Seems the young sea sharks have taken a liking to the Amber Coast. So, Amber Coast, habitat for crabs. Presence of their young on shore occasionally attracts lurkers. So, quest option 1 would be, hey, there are young sea sharks, so this is a new thing. New potential source of game. Option 2 is, hey, I killed all of them. So there is no game. And is this the guy with the blueprint and he got bludgeoned by a troll? I guess that's it. Hey, that looks pretty cool. I could use that. It does more damage than my Raven's Beak. I might want to report back to Garros to see if I get reprimanded for killing all of the new game. Or if he'll applaud me for keeping their numbers in check. But if that guy got killed, that means that there should be trolls up here, right? Which means it would be in my interest to come up here and murder them. And of course, there's a crab. Yep, the trolls have completely respawned. I had previously killed all these. Both the young ones and the adults. But now they're back. They have multiplied some way, somehow. No new items. So let me warp back to town. Let me see if I can talk to Garros about the Amber Coast. I can report my findings that that young sea sharks have shown up, but are no longer game, as far as I'm aware. There were crabs at one point, and then I killed those too. And then I can also turn in this recipe to Ogdar. Maybe he will teach me master blacksmithing, and then I could craft this cool looking sword and upgrade my weapon. That would be nice. Meadow knotweed. Maybe not. I was deceived. I saw the edge of this bush and it looked like a meadow knotweed. Take me back to the Innos Shrine in the city. Guild is to the right. Oh, I can also collect a bounty for the ice wolves while I'm here. Hey, you.
Chcę... Doskonale. To paskudztwo dostatecznie długo sprawiało już problemy. Trzymaj. Oto twoja nagroda.
Masz. Dla ciebie. I cannot report on the fact that I have killed all of the she sharks. So now I am really curious if that means that I should be leaving some game alive or not. Because I want to kill everything. I want all of the loot, all of the XP. Hey, you. I found your guy. I didn't have to spend any money on it.
Znalazłem podróżnika.
I jak? Ile chciał za ten przepis?
Nic, facet nie żył. Jeden z troli musiał zrzucić go z klifu.
Cholera. Nie wyglądał na takiego, co by się dał pierwszemu, lepszemu trollowi pokonać. Chyba był z tego całego Nordmaru, a tamtejsi codziennie polują na orków jak na zwierzynę.
Ukształtowanie terenu było wyjątkowo niekorzystne.
Szkoda faceta. Miałem nadzieję, że jeszcze coś ciekawego mi przyniesie. Wiesz co? Zatrzymaj ten przepis. Jakoś nie mógłbym po tym siąść do jego wykuwania. A tutaj masz coś w ramach nagrody. Może sam spróbujesz go wykonać.
I got some materials.
Do roboty.
You...
Silny chłop.
Do I have master training? I don't have advanced weapon forging. How am I supposed to make this, sir? If you won't teach me.
Dobrze,
Co słychać?
Pewien nieznajomy zapytał mnie kiedyś o sekret. Odrzekłem mu, czym znajdzie.
Level 3 required master. But he won't teach me.
Ty.
When will you teach me? He took my weapons away. Oh, crap. Okay, that was good. Wait a few days to set out for the mines. I thought for a second there was a time-sensitive quest somewhere.
Myślałem trochę o twojej pracy dla mnie i tego, ile się już nauczyłeś. Myślę, że jesteś już gotowy, bym przekazał ci moje największe sekrety kowalskie. Daj znać, gdy będziesz gotowy na dłuższą lekcję.
Alrighty, thank you. I will learn master blacksmithing from you.
Naucz mnie mistrzowskich technik kowalstwa.
Na tym poziomie nie ma miejsca na błędy. Musisz przestać myśleć o kowalstwie jak o pracy. Od teraz kowalstwo jest dla ciebie sztuką. Każdy element twojej broni musi być dopracowany do perfekcji. Balans, ostrość, giętkość klingi w przypadku mieczy, wytrzymałość w przypadku broni obuchowej. Sprawdzaj swoją broń. Szukaj niedoskonałości. Po nabraniu odpowiedniego doświadczenia będziesz w stanie wyczuć, kiedy oręż wybija się ponad przeciętność.
That's all it takes. So do you have new inventory?
Znajdziesz u mnie tylko...
Now that you've taught me that. No new weapons. No recipes. Okay. But I can read that one now for the fear of sailors.
Rozumiem.
It needs 6 nuggets, black pearl, 3 pearl. Does 155 edge damage, requires 145 strength, and it gives a 7% bonus to one-handed weapons. So that's pretty nice. Here it is, 155. Ooh, it's a pretty long blade too. Look at that. Here's my raven's beak. Sucker's like 40% longer. That's nice. Alright. Huzzah. So that was beneficial for me to come here and do that. And we'll see how long until I find a weapon that is vastly superior to this.
Hey, ty.
Okay, now what would be... I I wanted to go buried treasure hunting, which is on the pond, a small pond between Rita's Vineyard and Scoundrel's Haven. So I might not want to mess with that just yet. I think I might need to take a short break. But I could... Where is the cave near Rita's Vineyard? That's going to be a little bit farther north than I want to go, so let me hire a runner to take me there. Actually, let me look at what the sword looks like in person. It's kind of cool. It's, frankly, some of the edges look a little bit blemished to me, but like you'd think it would be a little bit more of a polished material for master level, but that's fine. I guess that kind of adds to the intimidation factor. Yeah, so I will save it here and then continue on the buried treasure and picking up some of these, maybe some of these other side quests in the next one.